And good morning to you,
Good morning.
District Attorney General. And I got to ask you, I know that your office is not over setting bonds, but the prosecutors, they can explain to the judge the importance of setting high bonds. We do notice that two of these former officers have higher bonds than the other.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Well, without going into too much detail, among the things that we take into account, as well as the offense level and ties to the community and things of that nature, is the strength of the case and the extent of the involvement, and that was a factor in our decision.
And just to talk about the two Memphis firefighters, do we know if they will be charged?
So nothing that we did yesterday precludes us from adding later charges, either to the existing 5 defendants or to anybody else. I can't comment on an ongoing investigation other than to simply say that.
Okay. And just tell me, how many times have you seen the video?
I probably have watched the entirety of the video through twice.
And understanding that, watching that video, can you tell me if you watch it again, more charges? I know this is an ongoing investigation. This is an ongoing investigation. Could there be more charges that could come about?
So, like I said, nothing that we've done yesterday precludes further charges. But I will tell you that my trial team and my separate Justice Review Unit have been over the video many, many times. We've been very thorough in looking at that video, as has been the TBI.
And when we talk about Chief C.J. Davis, she basically made a comment in saying that it came to her that these officers, these now former officers, shouldn't have even pulled Mr. Tyre Nichols over in the first place.
Right. Now, that's a detail that I can't really get into. I will tell you that the video that is available and the video that will be released doesn't start early enough in the chronology to definitively answer the question about the basis or the reason for the initial stop. And, that's something that, the investigation can look into.
Look, we've been speaking with legal analysts and former police officers, former deputies from all over this county, this state, even in other areas of the country. And, what stands out is that kidnapping charge. This is the first they have ever heard in an excessive force case. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So kidnapping under Tennessee law is any confinement of a person against their will which substantially interferes with that person's liberty. It is our contention that whatever the legality of the initial stop, at a certain point, Mr. Nichols was unlawfully detained by the police officers. It's aggravated kidnapping under the law because it resulted in bodily injury, and separately because the persons involved in that forcible detention that was unlawful possessed weapons at the time. So there are two different counts of aggravated kidnapping based on that theory.
Was it important to have these former officers arrested, indicted, charged, in jail before the release of this video?
I think it was very important because of the potential incendiary nature of the video and the overall circumstances. It was important to have the video released for purposes of transparency. I support the City of Memphis's decision to release it. But B, I think it was better to have the charges announced first so that when the public sees the video, they'll be seeing it in the context of accountability is occurring, action is being taken, this is not being swept under the rug.
And just to understand, these 5 now former Memphis police officers arrested, booked, charged, indicted, now have bonded, 4 of them bonded out. We've seen in the past, in the George Floyd incident,
right,
prosecutors have dragged their feet. You were just complimented by Benjamin Crump and the Nichols family on how you have handled this entire situation.
Right. Yeah, and I was very gratified to hear that affirmation from Ben Crump and the mother of Tyre Nichols. Look, because of the explosive nature of this situation and the potential for a case like this to undermine public confidence in the fairness of the system, which is already pretty low, unfortunately, it's important for us to act decisively and swiftly. And as we just said, in order to, for that same reason, for transparency's sake, the video needed to be released. But releasing it in advance of charges, I think, might have been problematic. So we needed to do both quickly. We needed to reach accountability and conclude the investigation, or at least sufficiently advance the investigation that we can make a decision on charges, and then do all of that before the release of the video. And I think that's the ideal case. It's the model, best practice, if it's at all possible, going forward in these cases.